Many Americans have found a way to avoid pain at the pump. They're just not buying gas as much. Prices are actually starting to come down a little bit. According to AAA, the average cost of a gallon of regular nationwide is now $4.37 a gallon. That's an 8-cent a gallon drop from the record high set on March 11th. 8 cents. Woohoo! My next guest says one of the reasons why it's happening is because people are changing their habits. Lisa Whalen does market research for Morning Consult. Good morning to you, Lisa.
Good morning.
So before we get into some of the numbers from this latest study, can you tell us about what was behind it? What made you think that people might buy less gas?
Well, we started to pulse consumers in the wake of the crisis in Ukraine and rising gas prices, and we found that nearly 2/3 of adults reported being very concerned about gas prices. So we thought it would be interesting to burrow further into that and see how gas prices might be impacting consumer behavior and mobility.
So we're going to actually show a graphic of your study, of your findings, and give people a little bit of insights here. So gas buying is down sharply for the month of March, especially among, get this, people at home, baby boomers, Americans with incomes under $50,000 a year, and people living in the suburbs. So 1/3 of people are actually cutting back on gas prices, correct, Lisa?
That's correct.
I mean, you'd think that walking is going to take so much more time. Obviously, taking the bus is affordable. But really, I mean, for people in the suburbs, I think that's the biggest surprise to me. I guess they're taking the train?
They're also reporting driving less. Actually, about 1/3 of adults have reported driving less in the last month as well. So they're finding ways to trip chain and get more done per trip so that they can maximize their mobility.
Did your study take into account that a lot of people are still on a hybrid or work from home option since the pandemic, and so they don't have to drive as much?
It certainly does. We have seen workers starting to return to offices, so it will be interesting to continue to track the behavior and the mobility, but we do take that into account, yes.
And do Americans use gas more than other nations? I mean, in terms of private transportation versus public transportation in other countries, like Europe, for example?
Yes, Americans absolutely use more gas, not only because of personal mobility, but because our mix is very much skewed towards trucks and vehicles that use up more gas.
Did your study show that this trend is going to be continuing, especially with the fact that, we are seeing the prices go down quite a bit, and certain states are actually canceling their surcharges as well? So people are saving more money, but do you think people will try to still conserve their dollar?
They're going to be conserving their dollar just because we're looking at inflation in the midst of rising gas prices. So they've got multiple pain points in their wallets. So we definitely see future conservatism in mobility.
Yeah. Plus, hey, if you walk, that's like going to the gym. So you kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Lisa Whalen.
Feels good.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.